Hello. Well, hello to you too, baby girl. I don't guess she enjoyed that. We yesterday incurred our first day of summer, if you will. Heat index here got up to about 106, 107 degrees, and Mama's coming to join us now. And we decided that we need a little additional help for the air conditioner on this travel trailer. As you know, these don't do the best in the hot weather, so for one, we did buy another small 110 unit that will stick in here in the next couple of days. But the first thing we're going to do today is actually tint the windows on this camper, because there's so much heat that gets reflected through because there's so many windows on this thing. It's all glass. We've got the blackout shades, which help, but they don't help enough. And for the price, and to do something permanent, we went with the tint. We went to AutoZone, actually it was over Eiley's, I guess, and bought, thanks Mom, we bought 4 rolls of tint. Should be plenty enough to do what we need to do. I'll show you how to put this on. It's pretty simple, especially messing with these flat windows like this. It's a little bit more painstaking doing it on a car, and we're not even going there and getting into that. I've done it, but it was decades ago when I did that. So these are going to be pretty simple. I'll take you through 1 or 2 of them, and we'll see how big of a difference we can get out of about $50 worth of tint to try to do all the windows in this camper. We had to stop and eat some lunch real quick before we got started tinting these windows. I was just going to show you my little star attraction here. My sweet baby Woo Woo. Hi Woo Woo. Did you get a little bite of ham, buddy? Was it good? We had to fatten him up for the trip, and he's lost some. And we were sitting here bragging on baby girl. She's done so good. She's been on her diet, and she got pretty heavy over the winter. The COVID-19 lockdown really just crushed her soul, and she just started eating a lot. But she got a little heavy, and we've got her thinned down from about 4 chins back down to 1. And she's doing really good. So really proud of baby girl. She's really doing good. And then poor little Mr. Brad over there, and he's the best. Plus my dear sweet wife. Alright guys, first rule of window tinting is clean these windows a little bit. Just some Windex or whatever you got, and just kind of get your fingerprints and smudges and such things as that off of the window here. Now, as you can see, this pain in the butt flies putting fingerprints all over my fresh clean window. Been a while since y'all seen that truck, hadn't it? We still got her. This is just a solution of a little bit of dish soap and water, and the trick of that is just to spray your window down. Miss Angela here is going to hold this camera for me because I only have 2 hands. You're just going to unroll your tint, and you're not going to separate it just as of yet. But that moisture from the soap and stuff will give you the chance to kind of put it in place, get it trimmed out just like you need it. I'm going to slice this one off right now. How about right there? Again, on this one, we're not looking for perfection. We're not going to have a bunch of bubbles and all that mess in it, but
he's not looking for perfection, but I am.
I'm looking for function. And as hot as it is...
Now come on, these were your skills back in the day.
Yeah.
Show us what you got.
25 years ago.
It's just like riding a bicycle, right?
Well, I'm going to be nice, and I'm not going to repeat anything that came into my mind. When everything's nice and warm and hot, nothing wants to stick and stay. So we're just going to play with it a little bit. But what you're looking to do here is to get a razor blade and make sure you got all your... See, we need to come this way with it a little bit. Make sure you got everything covered like you want it. Careful with your razor blade in your hand. Come on, baby. My aggravation is setting in rather quickly, and I'm
Yeah.
getting mad.
He gets grumpy really easy nowadays. I think it has something to do with the Arkansas heat.
That has a lot to do with
In Alaska, he was just chill. It's not good. It's drying as fast as...
It's rather warm outside.
Probably has something to do with that being the edge that curled up too.
Well, of course, but it's also drying right behind it quickly. And I'm trying to get this corner over far enough, but every time I do, it drags it down from there. So I'm trying to drag that over and this down and make sure everything's gonna be hunky-dory fitting like it needs to be. And then you got to get her to stay so that you can trim your edge where it really needs to be. And then once you get it all cut, then there's actually a separate piece of plastic film that's on this tent that you got to remove, which is usually best done with a piece of Scotch tape. It's so hot outside, it's just miserable, just sucks.
Welcome to Arkansas.
This tent right here is 5%, and what that means is that is the amount of light that it allows to transmit through the film. Most states, to be legal, I don't even know, is around 35%, something like that. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. So this would be illegal tent to use on your front windows of your car. But for something in the instance of this, tractors and things of that nature is usually what this is used for, except for those that are looking to break the law and have a legal tent that they end up having to take off because they get tickets for it.
You've never done that before, have you?
No, I have not.
What?
I've never had a tent or a ticket for a legal tent.
Okay, so you've never had a ticket for illegal tent.
I never said I never had a legal tent. I've never had a ticket for a legal tent.
I knew you as a teenager.
Once you get the film off the back of it there, it required both of us, so nobody could really film. We don't have our tripod or anything out at the moment. But you can use a debit card or a squeegee or whatever, and you just want to work from the inside out. Work all your air bubbles. I'm not sure what happened here, but you know, imperfections are life. They are for me anyway. You just want to work the inside out. This window was really hot, and this was really tough because I couldn't get my moisture to stay put long enough to do anything without it rolling up off the window. And here's why you clean your window exceptionally well. That appears to be a hair, and maybe I can still, you gonna spray the crap out of this again for me, Mama, right here? Yep, that was a hair. You can catch stuff like that before it dries, but looks like a baby girl hair had made its way to the window somehow, even though we'd cleaned it just a moment ago. And there's another one right there. Baby girl, what are you doing to me?
Chihuahua hair everywhere.
Now we got it. But yeah, you don't want a little hair under there. You've ever seen anybody with a bad tint job on their car with the crazy bubbling and all that? Here's another hair. Lord have mercy, Chihuahua dog. Another hair.
Holly picked it up off the bed when we were separating it.
I'm sure that y'all can tell it probably didn't come from my head.
Too short to be my hair.
And this is the emergency exit window. I didn't want to remove that exit sticker for anybody in the future that may need to see that. So it's going to bubble a little bit right around that just because it's against it. As you can see, the wonderful perfection of my tinting job here. But just being able to feel the difference between what that glass was doing versus what it's doing now. I'm not sure how that screen goes in there.
I think that's it.
I don't either. It may go on the outside. This is the emergency exit window. There's... Get off me, fly.
Gotta be somewhere it clips in, and then that...
Yeah, there it is.
Alright.
Got a little screen action on there. And now the blackout shade. And the curtain valance. You know, gotta have this fancy curtain valance. Now if you could get Miss Angela to go outside and come look in this window, and I'll raise this blind back up, and you'll see just how much that darkened from the outside. So I'll wave at you in a moment.
Alright, here's an outside window. If he's raised it, I can't see him, so... Oh, hey! You can't see through it.
That's the idea.
I know. Here is an untinted window. I'm not sure what you can see there, but you can still see the shades. There's a couple of the poodle dogs at my dad's house. We have Lovey, and I guess Irma and Oliver ran off. Irma! Oscar! I think I heard him go inside.
Here's the inside of window number 2. The one on the right hand side here has been done. This one was done with 2.5%. When we went to look, we ended up buying from several different stores. We bought some 5%, some 2.5%, which is pretty much the darkest ones you can buy. And that is the inside view looking out. And of course this one's not perfect either, so it is what it is, but it's going to help with some heat. Alright guys, this is something I didn't show, but I was talking about on the separation on these. Miss Angel was working on this window right here. What I try to do is take 2 little pieces of Scotch tape when you go to separate these, and you're just going to put your tape on one side and the other, so that when you pull the tape apart, it pulls the plastic off the back like this right here. And then this side's actually adhesive, and then you're just going to take your tape off your tent side. And then Miss Angela is going to start spraying this corner right here and everything as it comes apart. Be careful on the end here as it comes apart so it doesn't fall over onto itself. And she's going to spray the window real good again. More stuck, unsticking. Spray and unstick. Pretty simple. And then we're going to work out the bubbles. And then once you get all your bubbles wiggled out, then you get to move on to the passenger side window. We did not get video footage this morning, but we did get the 110 unit in here running, and it has made a phenomenal difference in here. Nothing fancy, just a little cheapo depot there from Walmart, but it's blowing cold air. And our other one's not even kicking on, and this one's probably going to use less power, to be honest with you. than the big 15,000 BTU unit that's on the roof. But all the difference in the world.